by KingDime.
Boom!
All right, I hope everyone's ready for some fast-paced retro action. Just before I get into the run, since everything kind of goes by so quickly, and we're going to be name-dropping some of the devs, I just wanted to do, like, kind of introduce them. So id Software was founded in February of 1991, and it was co-founded by John Carmack, John Romero, Tom Hall, and Adrian Carmack. And then later on, we have the addition of level designers Sandy Peterson, Sean Green, and American McGee. And there was some other individuals in id Software, but they're not important. We're going to ignore them. All right, before we get into this, let's do couch roll call. Let's start over here.
ZELLLOOO.
Funkmastermp.
And we got Game Swag, Big Law, and we got Airwaves over here. All right.
There he is.
Woo!
All right, let's get ready to start. Let's get a countdown from 5. How about Funkmaster?
Oh, no. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Boom!
All right, this first level is going to go very quickly, but I just want you to take note that I picked up a blue Mega Armor, and that's going to give me 200% armor, and also it applies a 50% damage reduction. So there's two main types of movement kind of tech in this game, and there's a simple type of strafing called Strafe 40, and that's going to allow me to move 40% faster using a forward input and a strafe input. And then there's Strafe 50, which lets me go 41% faster. But there is the downside that it locks my angle. So I only really want to do that in really long hallways. And coming into E1M3, one of the most dangerous maps in this entire run, I'm just going to be a little quiet here.
Yeah, E1M3 actually is one of the first of 3 hard levels in episode 1. There's a lot of hit scanners, a lot of enemies that block your way. Like the hit scanners are the shotgun guys and the zombie men. If they try and shoot you and you're just in line of sight, there's nothing you can do about it. You're just gonna get pinged.
You'll note Dime is mostly focusing on shotgunners. Their damage spread, they shoot the same shotgun that you're using, shoots out 5 pellets, each pellet dealing, I believe, up to 15 damage. So a point-blank shotgun can hit you for up to 75% damage. So they're pretty high priority targets. Here he's actually pretty high health. Usually we're looking lower towards the 50s, around that area. So this is going pretty well for him right now.
One thing you'll notice here is there's actually not a Z-axis with the shot, so he was able to fire at the guys on top of the platform without actually looking at them.
So map 3 here on command control. We got our first major sequence break coming up right here. We're going to be using an SR50 to go across the gap. There we go, nice and easy. And there's this weird door which has an incorrect tag. So there's a lift earlier in the map that has tag 3, and the door also has tag 3. And both of those special actions cannot take place at once.
Yeah, so sometimes if you see Dime run this on his stream, that door won't open when he presses it for the first time. That's what he's referring to.
So I'd probably say E1M5 is the hardest map in the run outside of E4M6. He will be getting an extra Mega Armor to replenish himself and some rocket launchers, some extra rockets to help clear everything out, but it's going to be a lot of really tight movement to try and navigate around everything.
Yeah, one thing you'll see is that Dime's going to do a lot of ammo management for his higher damage weapons.
Nice, we got the good strat there. So now I can go through this whole section pacifist. So this pinky here doesn't wake up, and it's I can easily get into this ledge.
So yeah, in episode 1, you'll see that he's going to be very cautious about where and when he uses his rockets, because we want to use those on the final map. And in the later episodes, he'll be doing the same thing, mostly with the plasma ammo.
Gonna use a couple rockets here to clear everything out. And then we have a Spectre that doesn't wake up at the bottom here because it's tagged ambush or death. So it'll only wake up if it sees me or if it gets shot. Done. Nice. Major trick coming up where we're going to get a shotgunner under a wall. Come on. And this is going to save about 30 seconds. Go.
Yeah, so the door's going to close on him, but in Doom, if an enemy or an object is under a door when it closes, it will just reopen the door. That door doesn't reopen for quite some time after you enter the room, so it's important that he doesn't get stuck.
Okay, new strats. Incoming here is I'm going to use the same rockets I've used before in runs, but once I get to the top and I pick up the yellow key, is I'm no longer going to shoot. And that's because in this little secret section, if I do it just right, we can get past.
Pretty close.
It's important to know he picks up a bunch of rockets in the secret area too. Normally competitive Doom running is done with in-game time, and they exclude map 8 from the in-game time. But since this is more of an RTA style run, it saves more time in RTA to go through the secret and get those rockets for E1M8 instead of skipping them.
Yeah, so the reason behind that is that Doom uses competitive Doom speedrunning uses a demo recording function where when you start the game, it begins recording a demo. If you press escape or die or end an episode, in the case of Doom 1, the recording ends. And the only way historically to measure the time was with the end of game map screen, or the end of map screen that would give you the map time. Well, the final map doesn't actually give you a map time, which is why historically they didn't measure the runs using that. And technically speaking, competitive demo recording speedrunning still doesn't use that last map of time in Doom 1.
So not a ton going on until the end of the map here. So Butters, you can go ahead with some donations.
Very well then. Thank you very much, Dragonfly, for the $30 donation. Hey Dime, Dragonfly here. Just had to donate while you're blasting your way through Doom.
Thank you so much, Dragonfly. If nobody knows, Dragonfly is one of the best new mappers in the Doom community. I totally check him out, for sure, if you want to learn Doom mapping.
Yes, he says, thanks for being on the development team of Eve Eternity. It's been an honor to have your input on the project. I'll let you choose what incentive this money goes towards. Rip and tear.
I don't even know any of the incentives. I haven't checked yet.
We can figure that out afterwards. Thank you very much, Sokar, for the $50 donation. Hail to KingDime, baby.
Thank you very much.
Wait, wrong game.
Okay, we're into the Phobos anomaly here. This is a small time loss by grabbing the Soul Sphere, but I'm going to use 3 rockets on the left Baron of Hell and 4 rockets on the right, and the splash damage can kill me easily. So, oh man.
Yeah, so you'll notice Dime entered this map with 11 rockets. On average, a Baron takes 5 rockets to kill, so we're looking at around 10, ignoring any possible splash damage. 10 would be the ideal amount to kill them.
These stairs take forever. I lost 15 seconds by missing that trick. There we are. So coming into episode 2, we kind of skipped all of the story. And when you think of Doom, you just think of running fast and killing monsters. But I am going to tell you a little bit of the lore because Tom Hall worked on the Doom Bible. And originally in Doom, you were not going to go to Phobos and Deimos. You were going to go to Tai Tanga. And there was going to be NPCs in the game. And one of these NPCs was John Dacote, or D-A-C-O-T-E. And that stands for Dies at Conclusion of the Episode, which we just saw in Knee Deep. Oh, the cute cacodemons, they just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Best monster.
Yeah, we're going to start seeing a lot more cacodemons and Lost Souls especially. They're not terribly threatening, but they can get in the way a lot.
I could go to the nukage corridor if I was doing an IL, because you would do a switch press, but the major routing mechanic behind episode 2 is getting around 185 to 190 plasma to deal with the Cyber Demon in the finale. And this map here, it uses the same music as the intermission, so that was kind of lazy by Bobby Prince. Just a bit.
And you'll notice sometimes whenever Dime opens a door, once in a while he will shoot, and that's used to manipulate the enemy AI, where monsters will wake up when they hear a shot.
And we're done. Next level is, it's like a creative endeavor by Sandy Peterson, but he didn't have much time to work on this game. Sandy Peterson came in on the team 10 weeks before the original release of Doom in December 1993, and he created 19 of the maps. That's not good. But yeah, Butters, go ahead with donations. I'll just try not to die.
Thank you very much, Fast B, for the $100 donation. Doom de doom doom doom. Also Cuphead. Thank you very much, Funch, for the $250 donation. Rip and tear! And also some Cuphead on the side.
Yes, so one thing you'll notice is that even for a very experienced player like Dime, he's going to end up in some situations where he's low on health, and that's just an example of how deadly this game could be, even for people who've played it for thousands of hours.
Yeah, because enemy movement's random, the damage they deal is random, it's just a very random game, so he's adapting on the fly as needed. Because you're never going to be able to do the exact same thing.
So for example, the plasma gun that I have out right now has a spread of between 5 and 40 damage, but in multiples of 5. And let's use the Baron of Hell's melee attack, is that can do between 10 of 80 in multiples of 10. So a lot of RNG.
So this is the only time you're going to see an out-of-bounds trick in this run. Maddie, you want to explain wall running?
Basically, so wall running, there's a mechanic where if you run at a specific angle against a wall, the engine will double your speed based on some of the weird coding nuances. And it works better in certain directions. In this case, we're going to be wall running in 2 separate directions at the same time, and that's actually going to allow us to push Doom Guy's hitbox outside of the bounds of the map. Normally, this trick doesn't actually help very much, but in this case, we can actually press the exit switch from out of bounds. I'm just going to be...
Oh, that was fast.
Sorry, I had to be quiet for a second because he's actually using a sound cue to figure out which direction he's off on pressing the switch.
Yeah, that switch press from out of bounds can easily take 15, 20 seconds.
Got back up.
So we're going to do a quick rocket jump here right to the end of the map.
Nice.
Nice.
And now we're coming up on the dreaded Cyber Demon fight.
I have low plasma. I'm going to pick up all 20 rockets.
Yeah, so the Cyber Demon takes about 180 to 200 plasma on average to kill. Dime got stuck behind a lot of monsters in this case, so he's fairly low on plasma. The Cyber Demon having 4,000 health is pretty much just an HP tank.
Yeah, the Cyber Demon is actually immune to the splash damage from the rocket, so it's much more efficient to kill with plasma with whatever you have.
And just as a reference for how much damage rockets do, is they have a spread of, I believe, 128 to 288 damage.
148.
Yeah, sorry, 148.
Yeah, 148.
Some of that is splash damage, depending on the proximity. So even basically a full health, you know, like 100 health, 100 armor, you can be just gibbed from basically that point. It's very dangerous to be running around with a Cyber Demon amok.
If we listen to the MIDI here, Bobby Prince based much of the music on 70s to 80s metal, so Pantera, Slayer, Black Sabbath, Metallica, etc., etc. But there's also atmospheric tracks. I think originally they wanted all... Where am I going? They wanted all just metal, but that would have been a bit boring.
Fun fact, this map is shaped like a hand.
Yeah, and again, as you can see, that was interesting.
That's an example of the body blocking that the AI
Guess we're
can do.
redoing map 1.
Yeah.
They can be pretty brutal at times.
Yeah, but as you can notice, he went not so much out of his way, but took a second to get the plasma rifle because, again, the plasma ammo is our main damage dealer for big packs of enemies.
I'd say, Butters, you could do a donation since we're just repeating this.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Jay Zinn, for the $50 donation. I've been excited for Ultimate Doom and Doom 2 back-to-back.
Great.
Best of luck on the run.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Loiny, for the $30 donation. Can't wait to see Doom Block in AGDQ. January is one of my favorite times of year because of AGDQ. Doom hype!
Hype!
Boom. I'm saving it this time.
There we go.
I think I changed a letter in the save file, so it's now AGDQ 20,190.
No caca hugs this time, please.
No,
There
I'm not
we go.
showing the auto map again. All right. So we get the introduction of the BFG here, and I'll try to explain that. There's a main projectile that does between 100 and 800 damage, and a whole bunch of rays that emanate from Doom Guy. But the direction of the rays starts when you fire the main projectile, and they emanate when the projectile hits. So if Doom Guy is facing north, and you shoot the BFG projectile north, the rays will emanate in that direction, even if you're like turned around.
Yeah, you'll see when he's using the BFG later, he'll shoot it into a wall and then just run out into a crowd of monsters and just let the rays do all their work.
There's an invulnerability in the leftmost switch, but I'm skipping that this time.
Yeah, to get an idea of how much damage the BFG can do, it's possible to kill the Cyber Demon with 2 BFG shots if you get right up in his face and hit him with all the tracer rays.
So he's actually gonna grab a key through a wall right here.
Nope.
Shotgun guy getting in the way.
Let's go to the backup.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clear everything out here so he doesn't get too harassed by the monsters.
In my way. He's in my way. There we go.
There you go, nice. Yeah, you have just enough speed if you're running with an SR50 at the right angle to kind of clip into the wall for just a frame and grab the key before the game pushes you out of the wall.
Yeah, it's a similar trick that's used in some other Doom runs and sometimes in a lot of custom maps is considered a key bump, where it's something that if you were to just walk up to the wall, you can't pick up the object. But if you give yourself enough momentum, your hitbox kind of phases through the wall a little bit for a frame and it allows you to pick up items.
Thank you very much, the Odorous Bag, for the $50 donation. Doom on AGDQ and KingDime playing. Sweet. I'll commit another $50 if KingDime on the couch explains the Zero Master secret during Doom 2. Rip and tear until it is done.
All right. We'll do that. This is my favorite map here in Doom 1, Mount Erebus by Sandy.
Dime, Fire Blue.
Rip stream quality.
But it's one of these sandboxy type maps that oddly everyone hates in the second game.
So one thing you'll notice is that he picked up a Berserk pack a couple times. In addition to restoring you to 100% health, it multiplies your fist damage by a multiple of 10. Which is useful in some cases. It allows you to punch out demons with one shot. Allows you to kill pretty much everything up to pinkies in potentially one punch, which saves a lot of ammo.
I save up 120 cells so that I can, or sorry, like 60 plus cells to use a BFG shot here. That's gonna clear out the way. And then I want 80 for the boss level with the Spider Mastermind. Oh, there I dropped down.
Yeah, while the Spider Mastermind at the end of this episode is fairly dangerous, he's very easy to take out with just 2 BFG shots.
Yeah.
So he won't really be much of a threat in this case.
Sandy Peterson, he assumed that the Spider Mastermind was the hardest boss in the game, and he was. Would you say he was incorrect, or does that just work on pistol start?
Well, now that you have the BFG, you can just pause, right?
Yeah. So I'm. Yeah.
I would say situationally, either one of them is more dangerous.
If I went too far, that was going to soft lock me, and that was tight.
Spider Masterminds tend to be more dangerous from a distance.
Well, here's the Spider Mastermind. There was the Spider Mastermind.
Yeah, now it's gone now. Now comes the hard part of the game.
So this is the expansion episode they added for Ultimate Doom, and it's a doozy.
And speaking of expansion episodes, after about 20 years, they're finally releasing episode 5.
Shoutouts to John Romero and Sigil. But he changed the definition of megawatt. We always define that as 15 or more maps in a map set, and he just marketed it as a megawatt, and it's only 9. So we had to change the definition on the Doom wiki.
But as you can notice, you know, we're in episode 4. There's already a bear, and there's already rocket launchers, and Dime's only at 30% health.
Here's a crazy map with a ton of tricks. First off, there's going to be the Steven Winterfeld. Okay. Sorry, it's going to start off with a BFG grab. I'm going to just steal this from the wall, from right behind the Cyber Demon. And we got the Steven Winterfeld blue key jump. Let's just restart.
And just speaking to the difficulty of this episode, you won't see it, but there is a Cyber Demon in this map.
While we're going through this again, look at Doom Guy's gorgeous eyebrows.
That pretty smile.
I would say the difficulty of some of these maps in episode 4 kind of speaks for itself.
The first 2, and then afterwards the levels get a lot easier, but I got my ass kicked the first time I did E4M1. I just was not prepared for the difficulty.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you heard the Cyber Demon wake up there. He's not really a threat because he's only able to shoot you in that one little area, but he can be a pretty big problem.
We get a new trick since the last time this was at AGDQ.
Yeah, we're actually going to do a rocket jump off of an enemy to cross this gap.
First try,
Whoa.
Nice. Yeah, that just skips the entire level.
Yeah, that's a very long level too.
Yeah. The downside is that he doesn't have a backpack anymore, so he's got to do a little bit more ammo management for the rest of the run, but it's very much worth it to take that rocket boost.
And we don't talk about this level, so go to donations.
Thank you very much, Grandful Legion, for the $250 donation. KingDime, here, have some money. Now, never say metal is boring again. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for the $250 donation. In the immortal words of GamePro, to defeat the Cyber Demon, shoot at it until it dies.
It's a pretty good strategy.
It's a great pro tip.
Thank you very much, Mr. Meaner, for the $20 donation. Hey, Dime, Meaner here. Good luck, have fun with this run of Doom and Doom 2. Let's go get burritos later.
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Meaner.
Thank you very much, Five, for the $250 donation. Good luck, have fun. Thank you very much, Bob9001, for the $5 donation. Hi, Dime, Bob9001 here. Thanks for putting Doom on the world stage.
There, we can go into the other one. Thanks, Bob, the resident TNT UV Maxer in Doom.
Thank you very much, Coleo, for the $33 donation. Hey, Dime Guy, rip and tear until it's done. I took the day off just to watch you slay this.
Awesome. scariest level of the entire run coming up because we have to deal with a Cyber Demon in close quarters. And my armor is not looking good. It's lower than I'd expect.
Yeah, so in addition to all the hard things that are going on in this map, we're going to end up fighting a Cyber Demon at a point where probably the splash damage alone can kill us. So this is going to be one of the few mid-map saves that Dime's going to use during either one of the runs that's going on today.
I'm not confident in this, not at 29%. Let's go safety, safety, save. Okay.
Ooh. So yeah, he's just chilling out over in that little alcove there.
This is a prime example of the damage range enemies can do.
Yeah, so basically, like, splash damage at all is going to be killing us pretty much at this point. Murked.
This is bad.
Yeah, this could be a problem. Well, you got
The
exploded.
jibbed, yeah.
How do we do this?
could
I
be-
may
this could be
have to restart the map.
Gotta love that voice
Oh, it's
line, though.
close. It's close.
This is what E4M6 does.
This is a very difficult section.
What Dime's been showing you might look very easy, but this is a very hard game.
That's far back.
There we go.
I think we'll have to.
Yeah, you can just restart the map. Should be okay. It's not a very long map. It's just very deadly.
Let's go for some donations.
Thank you very much, Dario Vic, for the $100 donation. It's Doom. What else will we need to say? Oh, yes. Rip and tear until it's done.
This looks a lot better.
Thank you very much, Kyle25, for the $100 donation. Here I go, donating again. Thank you very much, E. Solace, for the $15 donation. Rip and tear until cancer is done.
Okay. That's good.
This should be a little bit more manageable.
There we
Got
go.
Well, there's some hit scanners in E4M6 who hang out all around the map. So let alone the splash damage being able to kill me is just a single shotgun blast can take me out.
Yeah, we're gonna do a precise lineup here and just jump the gap to the end of the level. So the end of the level is just a switch press in the middle of that platform, but because of the lack of Z-axis, we can actually just press it if we know the switch is there.
Yeah, the game doesn't care about what height this switch actually is at. It's just if your coordinates overlap, you can hit it.
Oddly enough, that also applies to the enemies.
We're grabbing the safety health. If I'm under 160 or 4 BFG shots, I go for it.
Yes, so we'll be doing one last rocket jump here into the final area of the game. Normally, you'd have to do both sides of this map, but with the rocket jump, we can get across the gap with only one side completed.
And just one
And
last
this is
spider
revenge for
mastermind.
Daisy.
Daisy was the little pet rabbit that you see murdered on the stake at the end of episode 3. That's time.
Done.
There we go,
Done.
time.
We're done.
All right, 27:55. Well done, KingDime.
Awesome. We'll be back soon with Doom 2, but we're going to wave goodbye to Funkmaster.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Funkmaster. Get out of
Bye-bye.
here. Get out.
Bye.
In case you care, the lore is here. Oh, never mind.
Thank you very much, Flounder, for the $50 donation. So pumped to get to see Doom and Doom 2 this AGDQ. And with that, we're going to take a brief break. When we get back, we will have an interview, followed by the continuation with Doom 2.
Hey, I'm OmniGamer, and I wrote my new book Speedrun Science to help newcomers and veterans alike through the full process of investigating, routing, and performing speedruns. I also introduce speedrunning's rich history, how its rules evolved, and a whole lot more. Pre-order now at fangamer.com.
Thank you very much, Doom Guy, for the $25 donation. What is all this until it is done nonsense? No, never stop ripping and tearing. Rip and tear your guts. You're huge. That means you have huge guts. Rip and tear. And with that, let us move on to an interview with Peaches, the runner of Chex Quest.
It's Keizaron here, and I'm here with Peaches. Now, I don't want to go too in-depth with what Chex Quest is about, but I do want the audience to kind of wet their beak a little bit. So can you give us like a little teaser of what we're expecting to see?
Yeah, so Chex Quest has a really good video that comes with it. So I don't want to spoil too much of the story, but basically there's an emergency meeting called by the Intergalactic Federation of Cereals because a volcano exploded on planet Bazoik, and it's carrying a dark secret with it that threatens all of cereal kind. So you'll learn more about that in the video. I just want to kind of give you a little teaser, just one spoonful, and the full bowl will come later. So you can't miss it.
Oh man. Okay, so let's just throw this interview completely out. Let's just go straight to social media questions because I don't think there's really anything else we need to talk about here.
All right.
So from Too Shy, we got cereal first or milk first?
I think that's a throwaway question. I think it's always cereal first. You have to do it.
I mean, why would you put milk first? That's savagery.
Yeah.
That is savagery.
What I will say, okay, devil's advocate, if you ever have a second bowl, right, that means that you have milk left over. So I feel like all the people who say that like it's impossible to have milk first, you're gonna put cereal in the milk that you had from your previous bowl. So I think you should probably be open-minded. Like we can all exist together.
I'm cutting you off right there. So let's go back to another question we got from Lori Bunnykins. What's your favorite Chex flavor?
Okay, I'm really happy that that question was answered because my absolute favorite flavor, which got discontinued and I wish they would bring it back, is frosted mini Chex. Like it was so good, like the squares were smaller, so because they were frosted and smaller, it was like a better like surface area to sugar ratio. And there's frosted big Chex now, but it's just not the same. So I miss you, frosted mini Chex. I hope it comes back.
They're still at General Mills, right?
Yeah, maybe they're
Hey,
watching.
General Mills, there you go.
Yeah.
Just bring it back. We need it. Another question from, it's from Caveman. What's the hottest game you have ever played?
So in terms of hottest Game 2 speedrun, I think Catechumen tops the heat list. It's fast, it's furious, it's faithful. I love that game so much. In terms of just regular games, I really enjoyed lately. Crying Is Not Enough was really fun. Red Lake was really good, and A Dump in the Dark, I think, are my favorite hot games lately.
Let's kind of talk about how things are going back home. So from Rainbow Fission, how's Reggie doing this week? Has he gotten any treats?
Yeah, he's been a really good boy. Of course, he gets treats. He always gets treats. For anyone who has never seen my cute dog, Reggie is my cute dog, and he's the best. He's the cutest dog ever. I'm sure you've all seen many dogs in your life, so you might not believe me, but I swear, check out my channel. I got some pictures in my bio. You can see for yourself if he's a cute dog.
And where can we find your channel?
That is twitch.tv/peaches.
Peaches, not pears.
No.
So we got from BX Fens, will you ever run Taco Bell Tasty Temple Challenge if you haven't already? That's a mouthful.
Yeah, no, I have not ever played that game, but I'm not opposed to it. One of the big reasons why I really love Chex Quest was because, you know, I used to eat Chex as a kid, and so it came with it. And I never happened to get a Tasty Temple challenge in any cereal. So I'm open to playing it, but I just have not yet.
Can you imagine just opening a cereal box and all of a sudden you just get a Taco Bell game just
Yeah.
pop out of it? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I got these tricks.
promotion.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's Taco Bell. All right, let's do one more social
Sure.
media and then we can go into prizes and stuff like that because I'm going to be sent for today. So we got from the Shuver. Did the first time you found out about this game, damn it, Shuver. Okay, so did you
I
get
what
this game from the cereal?
Yes, yeah. So I kind of accidentally answered that before. Yeah, no, I got Chex Quest when I was a kid. It was actually my introduction to first-person shooters on the PC. Because, you know, back then I wasn't able to really ask my parents for Doom or Quake or any of the other big FPS of the day. So Chex Quest was like a really awesome way to introduce myself into that genre. And so it's something I still play today.
Responsible parents.
Yeah.
Psh. So before I talk about a couple of prizes coming up, I want to mention that we're still trying to meet the Cuphead incentive. So right now we're at about 62,000 out of 75,000. And with that, we'll talk about some prizes that can help us meet that Cuphead incentive. So we have right behind Peaches here, if you want to grab that for me real quick, we have this Doom Guy helmet replica. It's something else. You got the Doom Guy face in it too. Like, it's absolutely amazing. It's a $30 minimum donation. And like I said, that $30 can go towards Cuphead being met as well. We also have, if the camera will allow me to do so, way over where Cent usually is, we got a Fallout 3 replica Gauss rifle. This thing is amazing. I believe it's made of wood. I'm pretty sure it's made of wood. This is why I'm not Cent. But that's a $125 minimum donation, and it's just beautiful looking, and it's absolutely worth it. So anyway, thanks for taking the time to deal with this absolutely meme interview that had absolutely no substance.
It was wonderful. Anytime.
And now we're going to throw it back to the host, and we're getting Doom 2 by the same exact runner as just last time.